Hi, everyone. I'm just going to take a bit more of time talking about something that I've been thinking a lot about with some of the other super team members, writing a lot about, and something that I find both intellectually and from a startup perspective very, very interesting, and that is agentic payments. We have been told since the beginning of the year that this is the year of AI agents. It has turned out to be so. In fact, some of you, if you're on Twitter, tomorrow is OpenAI's Dev Day, and they are promising some really, really cool stuff with agents that's coming out. So that's going to be disruptive as well. So we'll see how well we have timed this talk. But I think today I wanted to focus on AI agents, the way they are emerging, and how they could really power a new economy on the internet. So I think first thing we should need to realize is that every tech wave that has come in the internet economy for the last 25, 30 years has always brought with it a new form of payment, right? You could start with, the OG early days, the attention economy, which is the eyeball economy, that brought with it ads as a mode of payment for the goods and services, which allowed a bunch of stuff to be free. When SaaS came, it moved to a monthly subscription type of a model, which many of us are very familiar with. Then came the age of APIs. You were consuming APIs, and it moved to per API call or compute costs. You were paying via VMs. Then we came to the on-demand economy. And the on-demand economy, we were faced in the real world or in the virtual world with forms of surge pricing. All of us are familiar with surge pricing. We've all encountered that at our point of time. And then finally, in 2023 onwards, came the AI wave, the first AI wave with ChatGPT and OpenAI releasing its APIs. And there, again, they took a hybrid of some of these approaches and they came with a usage plus base pricing, right? So the thing is that every time there is a disruption in the internet economy, there is a new payment model that comes in. So now if agents and AI are going to be the next big disruption, what is going to be the payment model over there? I'm not claiming that I have the answers. It's probably too early. Nobody does. And everyone's thinking about this from first principles. But let at least try and see what are the things that they need to consider to be able to create these type of payments. Few of the things that didn't change, whatever payment methodology came or whatever technology wave came, was on the internet, users have always remained as price takers. And I'll tell you why this is relevant in the case of agents. But in today's economy, users, you go to a website, you always take a price, right? There's a price quoted, you put in your credit card, and you take that price whether you like it or not. The second thing is outcome-based pricing is still quite non-existent. Some of the system integration players and some of the services players do focus on outcome-based pricing, but it is still a very high-touch, high-model, high-touch, low sort of high cycle time type of pricing model. The third thing is always, like I said, users are always price takers. The only case where users are not price takers are where they have custom pricing and the users have buying power. But then you move to a very high friction model where you have to click that dreaded button of speak to sales, and then someone like me turns up with a custom pricing model and then follows up for a long, long time. And lastly, monetization still requires a lot of work. The default, if you're a small creator or if you're just trying to put something out there on the internet, the default is still free. But agents with their autonomy, with their auditability and their observability stretch this model in very, very, very interesting ways. They make first, the most obvious one, which everyone's talking about, is micropayments and high-frequency payments are going to be far, far more popular with agents than they have been in the past of the internet. Because agents can operate at machine speed, they can pay each other at machine speed. The second thing that's going to become very common in the agentic economy is programmatic payments. So you will pay only when certain conditions are fulfilled, or you will pay only when the workflow reaches a certain stage. The third thing, which I personally find very interesting, is the ability of agents to negotiate with each other. We have seen a bunch of demos in some of the demo days that have been conducted by all the giants, where two agents are talking to each other. A logical extension of that is that if you have an agent on this side trying to make a booking and an agent which is serving this thing, could those two agents negotiate with each other? What would that world even look like? I don't know, but it seems to have a lot of possibilities over there. And who's building the payments layer that will allow agents to negotiate with each other? The third thing is, with agents, the big thing is auditability and the ability to attribute actions to agents, which means that you can attribute outcomes to agents. And with that, could you get to outcome-based pricing? The second last, which I also find personally very interesting, is probabilistic payments. We know that agents are not deterministic. Most of you know that in different scenarios, given the same task, different qualities, different parameters, agents can generate different outcomes. So what happens? Could you price something where, let's say, if the task is completed up to a 90% confidence level. Let's say in case of a customer service bot, if you're able to do it at a 90% confidence level, could you have some form of a differentiated pricing over there? And could you code that in the payment code of the agents? And last but not the least is solving the problem for creators. Today, if you want to monetize, you have to actively take steps to monetize your creation. So if you want to write a blog, either you write a blog and throw it out there for the world to consume for free, or if you want to monetize, you have to put in a lot of effort, work with various ad services and the likes to get monetization. Could that monetization be made much, much more simpler? And surprisingly, this is where with Cloudflare and a lot of others, there is a lot of work being done to make passive payments simpler for all the people who are creating content on the internet. But this new paradigm needs new infrastructure, and I think the crowd here is kind of on the forefront of that already. You understand what it's required. You need wallets. The new payment rails cannot be designed to have humans in the middle. All payment systems today are designed for the humans to enter their OTPs, or the humans to sign a check, or the humans to do something else. If you have agents operating at machine speed, we know that that is not possible. That is not sustainable. You need smart contracts embedded into payments, whether smart or not. You need programmable contracts embedded into payments to be able to pay people as and when certain workflow conditions are fulfilled. You need fast and low latency settlement layer, because agents, like I said, as machines, they're going to pay each other at machine speed. You need a payment system where if you send 5-cent payments 20 times or 100 times, your payment wallet doesn't get blocked because of fraud, which is what will happen if you try to send, let's say, 20, 30 payments of the same denomination today with any kind of a payment system. And lastly, you need the ability to have atomic transactions, because you need agents to be able to, or agents on both the sides to be able to say that they have completed the task and make the payments. So all of this kind of makes the need for a Web3 blockchain type payment layer sort of a natural fit for all of this. And one of the theses that I've been thinking a lot about and writing for Superteam is the fact that these type of initiatives are the ones that are driving a lot of these big tech companies to launch their layer ones, because they want to capture this emerging agentic economy which is there. But the field is open for startups as well to build something on top of the existing infrastructure, because that already exists, that has already been created and has been battle tested to create an application that could power this new agentic framework and agentic payment economy. The incumbents are waking up. I think all of you have seen this. So this is honestly my last slide here, and a call to action to all the founders. Coinbase is going with X402. They have set up a X402 coalition. Google recently came out with AP2. Stripe is, of course, leading the charge at the front, integrating with OpenAI and making commerce possible in ChatGPT. And Cloudflare, of all people, surprisingly launched the net dollar, or at least announced that they're launching the net dollar, which is a stable coin. And their goal is to make those passive payments easy. They want you to be able to just turn on a switch on your web pages to say whether you want to get paid every time someone crawls your web pages and then make that payment out to you. So these incumbents are realizing the opportunity and the disruption that agentic payments will bring in. The thing that the opportunity that I see for startups, even small teams bringing on this space, is what I said before. The rules of the game are not yet clear. Everyone is thinking about this from first principles, and someone who creates a product to solve all of these requirements will be the one, will maybe a surprising winner who will win all of this. So if you are building on this, if you're thinking about this, like me, the time to build is now, the time to accelerate is now, and look at all the resources that are available to help you. I think a lot about this. I'll be writing a lot more about this on Superteam and other places as well. Looking forward to your feedback, and thank you for your time.